Should the Texans be looking to trade for Mike Evans? The answer, pretty obvious. Let's get into it in the locker room.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the locker room on YouTube. You know what it is. Let's get it. Hey. Locker room. Yeah, we in the locker room.
Should the Texans be looking to trade for Mike Evans? Wide receiver still considered a big need. Should they go get a big name to solve that need? It is the locker room, number one source for Texans daily digital content. I'm Landry Locker. You can hear me Monday through Friday, 10 to 2 on Sports Radio 610 and the Odyssey app. You can see me right here daily on the number one source for Texans daily digital content. We talk to players throughout the week on the radio program, coaches, ownership, etc. We're at every game. We're in the mix. So this is the place to get the pulse of what's going on with the Houston Texans. Please like, subscribe, right along for the pulse of what's going on with the Houston Texans. I want to ask the following question. It's a popular question right now on these Texan streets. Should the Texans be looking to trade for Mike Evans? To me, this question is the answer to this question is blatantly obvious. All you had to do is watch football this weekend and really just address where the Texans are right now, where Mike Evans is in his career, and answer all the questions that need to be answered whenever you are making a trade for a guy. And let's answer those questions before I give you the blatantly obvious answer. One of the first things you ask yourself when making a trade is, what are your needs? What does your team need? The Texans heading into this offseason, they needed a lot. They still might need a lot, and they're still going to need more than one thing next year. Normally, when you see a team trade for a wide receiver, the caliber of Mike Evans, first of all, often the wide receiver is a little bit younger, but it's sometimes they feel right or wrong that they are just a wide receiver away. See the Miami Dolphins when they threw all that at Tyreek Hill. See the Las Vegas Raiders when they traded for Devontae Adams. Buffalo when they traded for Stephon Diggs is a better example. The Texans right now, they got some young wide receivers they need to evaluate, and they have far more needs than a wide receiver. Next thing that you look into, and please like, subscribe right along. It is the locker room, number one source for Texans daily digital content, is assets. What kind of assets do you have? What will you be giving up? The Texans would most likely have to give up a day one or day two pick. Now, the Texans are in somewhat of a rebuild mode. They've already given up a first rounder. They've already given up a second rounder in the draft to execute the Will Anderson trade. So should the Texans, are they the type of team that should be giving up 2 second rounders, let's just say at bare minimum, and a first rounder, or 2 first rounders and a second rounder for a wide receiver that is heading into his 30s? The answer for me would be no. They need to stockpile as much young talent as possible. And if you watch college football this weekend and you're thinking about perhaps getting a young receiver next year, I mean, all you needed to do, hell, you could have just watched the Florida State game yesterday, and you get a little bit of taste of what's out there with the Houston, with the upcoming draft. The upcoming draft looks like it might be one of the more stocked wide receiver drafts that we've seen in a while. Benjamin doing his thing. You got Marvin Harrison Jr. with Ohio State. There are a lot of names out there when it comes to potential wide receivers. So is going the veteran route and giving up an asset that could potentially land you one of these young guys, and there's probably 15 of them. John Harris listed them yesterday. If you want to check it out, there's a ton of wide receivers. Is giving up a young asset, the third one that you would have given up in about a year's time, is that better than is trading for Mike Evans better than that? For me, I find that hard to believe. The other thing is the cost. On top of the asset that you'd have to give up, you're going to have to give Mike Evans a contract. Now, I don't think Mike Evans is going to completely fall off, but he is coming into his 30s. I know he's a 1,000-yard receiver every year. He seems to be quarterback proof, but he is creeping into his 30s. So is that something that you want to do? Because If you sign Mike Evans after the offseason, like if in the offseason we're talking about should they sign Mike Evans, I think that might make a little bit more sense. But at this point, you're basically having to implement two costs because you're trading the draft pick and you're going to have to give him the contract instead of just giving him the contract. So from the Texans' perspective, does that make sense? I think the answer there is no. You also got to look at the short-term impact. How much will Mike Evans impact your squad? He will be the best wide receiver on the team. I think that goes without saying, but how long will it take him to implement himself into things? How much production are you getting out of Mike Evans? That needs to be asked. And then the long-term impact / risk, is Mike Evans going to be playing good into, his mid-30s, 34, 35 years old? That's something that you're going to have to be willing to answer because, again, if you trade for him, you're going to have to pay him. The answer for me when it comes to should the Texans be looking to trade for Mike Evans is hell no. I don't think it makes sense here. The timing right now does not make sense because you're having to give up draft picks and give the contract next year. If we're having this conversation, maybe you can still find a young wide receiver. But at this point, I would rather roll the dice with what you got. You're not in win now mode. You don't feel like you're a player away. So go out there, see what you got in these young guys. Let the process play out. Don't be giving up all these damn draft picks. The F them picks thing, it's cute when the Rams were screaming it, but now all of a sudden they're suffering the consequences of that. So keep your draft picks. See what you got with these receivers. If the Mike Evans thing is still a thing next offseason, maybe we can talk about it. But I got a feeling we're going to be looking at these wide receivers in the draft and saying, goodness gracious, you got to go get one of these young dudes. So there are other options out there for your squad. Roll the dice, see what happens with Baltimore. Do not trade for Mike Evans. Like, subscribe, comment. Let me know if you think the Texans should trade for Mike Evans. I think people just like trades. And you say Mike Evans, you don't even factor in salary cap. I didn't get into the salary cap stuff because you can make that work. It might seem like you can't right now, but you can make that work. We've seen that hundreds of times. So my answer for the Mike Evans thing, should they trade for him, is no. I don't think it makes sense. I like these young receivers. I don't like trading all of these young draft picks. And I do think a wide receiver approaching his 30s is something that, it's not a guarantee that Mike Evans is going to be awesome. Love the guy, though. Love everything he represents. Big fan of Mike Evans, but sorry, no thank you. Doesn't make sense for the Houston Texans. Appreciate you for coming through. It is game week. We got you covered throughout the week. Post-game show, 9 p.m., number one post-game show there is. This is the number one place for digital content. Whether the Texans trade for Mike Evans or not, just remember when it comes to this Texan stuff, we are all in this together. Happy effing Labor Day and happy mother effing NFL game week.
Yeah, we top 2 and we not too plugged in daily digital on YouTube. We got taste for days, opinions to give, we got takeaways. If it's up, then it's up, we know.